So much has been written about Sarah and ghostly sightings of her around London, close to and including the Bank of England, wearing all black, hence the moniker of Bank Nun, so I thought it would be interesting to revisit the known information about her to check some of the facts, and to hopefully provide a little new information. To cut a very long story short, Sarah's brother, Paul, also incorrectly named Philip, worked for the Bank of England until in 1811 when he was charged with forgery. He stood trial at the Old Bailey on October 30, 1811 at the age of 36 years and was sentenced to death. The British Mercury, January 29, 1812 reported the execution of Paul Whitehead and other prisoners at Newgate at 9 o'clock with their bodies being cut down and delivered to their respective friends. Whilst it's not possible to confirm with any certainty, there was a burial on February 3, 1812, at St. Giles, Cripplegate, for a Paul Whitehead, giving his age as 32. Paul was supported throughout his trial by Alderman Samuel Birch, who would later become Lord Mayor of London, and supported him to the drop at the end of Paul's life. Remember this name, as it will appear later in this story. There are numerous reports with differing information about Sarah following the death of her brother. Most reports seem to confirm that although not witness to her brother's death, when she did find out it caused Sarah to suffer some sort of mental health issues, to the extent that she continued going to the bank on an almost daily basis searching for her brother, who she could not accept was dead. The bank were sympathetic to her supposed plight, despite knowing that Paul had been hanged, and as such they often gave her money, which she took and went away, until the next day. The day she died she had said that she was going to the civic feast at the Mansion House, and that one of the Queen's servants had sent 100 shillings to her, to buy herself a suitable dress. As to whether there was any truth in that we will never know, but it seems unlikely. Curiously, there is no sign of Sarah's burial or in fact anyone named Whitehead who was buried towards the end of 1837. Moving on to the ghostly sightings of Sarah, it has been said that she has often been seen around the area of the Bank of England, including at the Underground, dressed in widow's weeds and asking passers-by if they have seen her brother. Sarah Whitehead's ghost was seen within the bank's walls and in its inner garden way into the 1970s. Apparently passengers can hear her moans and wails drifting down the tunnel. A rotting smell wafting throughout the station is also often reported, as well as a pervading sense of sadness. However, ghost hunters have actually managed to uncover a strange and terrible truth surrounding the Black Nun tale. They have looked into the records of the Old Bailey Court, which show there was indeed a Paul Whitehead who was an ex-bank clerk condemned to death for forgery in 1811. Even more, the Times newspaper of February 22, 1828 reports one Sarah Whitehead appearing before magistrates at Union Hall asking for help against what she said was a conspiracy to defraud her out of her money and even poison her. How much these sightings of the ghost of Sarah Whitehead are actually true, of course, we'll never know.